Rafinha.
Sorry, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I'm saying you've spent a hell of a lot of money.
Yes.
Some of it for the future, some of it for the here and now. You've signed some world-class players. How are we ranking Chelsea's window? And what should the expectations for Chelsea be after buying Wesley Fofana, Kukurea, Sterling Koulibaly, the youngsters, and they're going to have Aubameyang 100% definitely. And I still think they'll sign a midfielder today. Like, what are we ranking Chelsea's window out of 10?
5,
6. Who
Five?
Who said 5? Who said 5?
Why a 5?
No, 6. It's got to be a 6. It's got to be a 6. They signed world-class players at the end of the day, man.
Don't bring that negative energy because your club has military in midfield. Don't start to project your negative energy to the bridge, man. What do you mean by 5 out of 6?
I like the signing of Raheem Sterling. I like the signing of Koulibaly. But I think in certain situations, you've overpaid. Look, you've got good players, but you've overpaid. And I think outgoings-wise, you haven't got as much money as you should have done.
Wait. What do you mean by overpaying? If you have the cash, spend the cash. What do you mean by overpaying?
But it's not even just that. It's people don't take into consideration when you get the signings in. You know, if you had some of these signings in earlier, a striker, midfielder, would you guys have, how many wins do you guys have? 1 so far? How many games?
2.
How many points?
2, actually.
So 2? Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, in terms of execution, I think you have to ding some points just off of that. Because if you have those players in, who knows how important those drop points will be at the end of the season. You guys know I'm speaking the truth. Like, it could just be 3 points that are the difference.
I don't rate the Aubameyang signing as high as others.
I think it's 5 like a 6.5.
You should have done better than Aubameyang.
I know.
The fact that you've wasted deadline day for Aubameyang, I don't think it's because that was your main issue. I think everyone was pointing to your attack at the start of this window as being one of the key. You had your defensive issues which you needed to sort, and you have sorted. But before that, your attacking issues were you can't score goals. You have no one there who can get you 20 goals. You still haven't got that.
Sorry to cut across you, but that's exactly why the fee matters. You're saying, well, if you just spend the money, spend the money. The fact that you guys spent 100 million on Lukaku is the reason why it took you so long.
97.5, just 97.5.
Exactly. And you spent the beginning of the window trying to make sure that you could get him loaned back out. So the fees do matter, even if you have the money to spend, because if it backfires, then you have to deal with it. And that's ultimately why you probably have Aubameyang. You probably would have had more time to look at better alternatives had you had not had the Lukaku situation. So it does matter. Good window though. Like, I think you solved a lot of your issues, like good quality players. Like, it's got to be like a 7, maybe.
I sense sarcasm. I sense sarcasm from you, Jess. And my thing here is just, look, it's 5 games of the season. I get it. 100% record. Lights bulb, Thomas Edison, all this kind of stuff and everything.
We're talking about Chelsea. Why do you?
No. I sense sarcasm. But here's the thing.
It's not. I said it was a 7. It's a good
sarcasm.
window.
I know. I get it. But it's a 38-game season. If at the end of 38 games, Sterling is on 16, 17, 18 goals and has an amazing season, I want Terrace to clip this as a receipt. So if at the end of 38 games, Chelsea finish above, and all these signings we've said that have been overpaid for actually do well, Tom, I will need a double-spaced apology from you.
Okay, so here's the thing. All I said was that, first of all, you guys finished what, 5 points ahead of us, 3 points ahead of Spurs, and I think we're closer to you guys now than we were last season. So again, those however many points you dropped at the beginning of the seasons because you didn't have your signings in, you weren't ready to go, could be the difference between you guys making your goals or not. So, like, I'm not saying your signings are bad or anything like that. I'm just saying you have to take that into consideration. Should have got them in earlier. I don't think as
a squad, what you had last season to what you have now, I don't think the improvement is that big. I still think there are issues in that squad which haven't been addressed. I think your defense, you had to sort out your defense. You lost pretty much your entire defense. Obviously, Rudiger and Christensen. You've brought in Koulibaly and Fofana, who I think are good buys. I think Fofana's a little bit overpriced, but it's a good buy. Your striker situation you haven't sourced until now. I don't rate Aubameyang as the solution. Your midfield situation you haven't sourced until now. I don't know who the solution is. You bought a left back, which, yeah, he's been all right. I don't necessarily think left back was high up on the shopping list, though. So I think you made good buys, but in terms of what you needed, it's not been as successful a window. I think on paper it looks good, but with what you needed to get,
are they title challengers with what they have? Like, can we all say, like, are they title challengers with what they've got? Because that was the goal, wasn't it?
I think on paper you would look at it with the quality they've signed and go, yes, but the problem is this is the issue. If we hadn't seen Chelsea kick a ball and all these signings have been made, we'd go, let's just say they bring in Alvarez. If they sign Alvarez tonight with Aubameyang and everybody else, if they all came in before a ball was kicked, we'd go, could win the title. But because you've seen Chelsea play, it's hard because you've seen so many flaws in the way they're doing things. The same as if you didn't see Arsenal kick a ball when they signed the players they had, nobody thought you would win your opening 3 games, let alone opening 5. So it skews things a little bit. Adrian here says, furious if we don't get a DM. We needed one desperately. Probably not happening anymore. All on Tuchel for not addressing early. He'll be gone. And a DM in January.
Factamundo. Adrian, shake.
A question for HH. It is Dodd, a degree of difficulty if Chelsea bought Haaland and he flop.
I don't know. I refuse to answer that question.
I bet knew you would. I think Chelsea fans should be patient with the board and TT. I don't care if he messes up right now. People backed Arteta and trusted the process. Might as well do the same with Chelsea.
No.
Trust the process.
Eagles mash. No. If all because let's say a clown is your manager, should you still back him because you're manager? My thing is, Tuchel, if you're bidding 60 mil for Gordon Ramsay, I am backing you, bro. I'm sorry. So you can't just back a manager blindly. If a manager is buying fruit sellers, farmers, and carpenters and expects fruit sellers, carpenters, and farmers to get to your trophy, you don't back that. Shouts to Lightbulb. Lightbulb, for several years, has been amassing quality of players. 8th, 5th. But when you look at what Lightbulb has been buying and the kinds that he's been recruiting, that's a guy that you should back. Bro, let's see what Tuchel does in the next few windows.
Who's
Lightbulb. Arteta, all or nothing. He had a light bulb during one of these things, so I called him Lightbulb. He had a light bulb in one of his
I don't know. Chelsea, you know what? I don't know how your club gets off so lightly all the time because you just lost to Southampton. You lost against Leeds in a fashion as well, and nobody says
have a striker. What are you talking about?
I don't care what you tell me, right? That squad is good enough to beat Leeds.
Breaking news to bring you here from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea have just approached Juve for Denis Zakaria. Talks have started as the Sangara deal is off right now. That has come directly from Fabrizio Romano. Let me zoom in a bit for you. Directly from Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea have approached Denis Zakaria. He could become a Chelsea football player this window. Sorry to interject over everybody while you were talking, but it was breaking news, and it's always more dramatic when we do it like that.
Yeah,
Denis Zakaria.
No, but here's my thing, though.
Panic buy, all stations a go, panic loan.
Panic or not, let's put that to one side.
I don't care.
This is a panic. This is definitely a panic.
This is panic. I'm telling you this now, yeah. As I was saying, your squad
so badly
is
at
good enough.
Juventus.
Their squad, are you telling me anyone in here, even the comments and everything around, please don't forget to smash a like button as well, because I just realized over 5,000 people in there and there's not even 1,000 likes. Like, come on, do that for Terry and the stream as well, and also NordVPN as well. Get them out to some more potential customers. But at the same time, that squad is good enough to beat Leeds and good enough to beat Southampton, is it not? Because that is a great team at the end of the day. So who's to really blame? It's Thomas Tuchel. And he needs to start taking blame, because if it was Arsenal, Manchester United, or anybody else, we would be on them and we'd be laughing at them. And sometimes you just gotta, just say he got it wrong, bro. It's not good enough. That's all. Every time you talk, H, you just got some sort of excuse coming out of your ass, bro.
Whoa, Kaz. I'm the last guy that uses excuses. My middle name is Real Facts, so I don't do excuses. I'm just giving you facts. No, it is your choice whether you want to believe it or not. But I've got to address the whole Zakaria thing. I mean, like you see this. Remember when you guys were in university and an essay was due? So normally you have like 2 weeks to do your essay. Now, again, I wasn't the greatest academically. I always did my essay the night before. But that's me. I'm not a football club. if you know you have something, you had a 1 month transfer window, and you know that you had things to address, why are you now trying to make signings on the freaking day? Because my thing with the whole Zakaria thing, why will Juve sell him? He's important to Juventus. The guy is important and is a very important player for Juventus, who are trying to win the Scudetto and do well in the Champions League. So for Chelsea, why would you think that Juventus, unless you offer them a crazy fee, and even if you offer them a crazy fee, they need a replacement. They're not going to like. So remember, Pogba is injured. They ain't going to fully rely on Rabiot. So it's not in Juve's best interest to sell Zakaria.
They bought Paredes. They had Paredes. They bought him from
Paredes
PSG.
and Rabiot. Come on.
Well, first of all, the reason why they want to get rid of Zakaria is because he's flopped massively. That's why they brought in Paredes. Like, he's only been there since January. So they probably would be open to you guys taking him off your hands, because they got him for, I think, really cheap too.
You have plenty of options in that midfield. H, you can join me in the club, in the group of people who are buying Juventus's flops in their midfield on panic. You know, it's a good club. I enjoy it. Join me, H. Like, they're fine if they accept this. If it just screams,
that can't be the
there was no build up beforehand of Zakaria, no mention that he's even on Chelsea's radar, and then with like 4-5 hours to go, in there, straight there, they want Zakaria. It doesn't look good.
Jan, thank you very much for being on. I didn't know how to quite do it. David's waiting backstage. I was told to swap. I didn't know if you knew, been told. David's joining us now for some more of the show. Jan, always a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you very, very much indeed. You went over by 15 minutes for us as well. So thank you very, very much. Lot still to delve into. I mean, the Zakaria one's hard for me because I really wanted him back in December. I know he hasn't done well at Juve, but I'm going to play devil's advocate. That we've seen a number of players not do well in one league and then do brilliantly in others. So maybe Denis Zakaria just isn't suited to Juve or the Italian league. Maybe the Premier League will be a stomping ground for him. Maybe he'll do well here. You know, arguably the Premier League's GOAT, you know, was a flop in Serie A, but very, very good in the Premier League. So there's more than one way to skin a cat in relation to that. So I think it's going to be an interesting one to see how that kind of